move on to 2.14, Chancellor's reports.
Thank you, President Napolia Bellavis, and good afternoon to the board members. I hope that isn't me resigning. I apologize. I'd like to start with the presidents for them to make their report, and we will go with our traditional order of Berkeley City College, followed by College of Alameda, Laney College, and Merritt College, and then I will make some remarks also.
Can everyone mute other than the speaker, please? Or can you mute? There's several people who are unmuted. I think that's where the background is coming from. Thanks.
Presidents, if you would like me to share your reports, as always, please let me know.
Thank you, Maisha. Good evening, everyone. No need to share the report. Good evening, members of the Board of Trustees, colleagues, guests. Thrilled to offer the BCC report today. In addition to what you have received in the written report, I want to highlight just a few things. The first is to congratulate our librarian and faculty member, Heather Dodge. She was recently selected by the statewide academic senate to become the regional rep for the online educational resources initiative that's taking place throughout the state. As someone who has been a champion of equitizing and making educational resources more affordable and equitable for students, we are absolutely thrilled to support her and sponsor her in her representation, not only of Berkeley City College, but of the great work that's happening across our district. I also want to take a moment to acknowledge that our new HSI director, Veronica Montoya, for our Los Caminos project program has started, and it has been a real smooth transition. We welcome her with a wealth of expertise around grants development, and more specifically in terms of providing achievable outcomes and producing results for closing student equity gaps, especially amongst our Latino, Latina, and Latinx students. So hope to see you all be invited as we begin the new year with our program rollout. Very exciting news that we just found out a couple of days ago is that one of our very own Berkeley City College students was recognized from the CalWorks Association as the Student Voices 2021 Scholarship Winner of the Year. So we are thrilled that Miss Devon Crawford, who is a mom of 4, was selected from across the state for her accomplishment and commitment to her education, and certainly what a phenomenal example, not only to her own children, but for our entire BCC community, students who are also parents. And lastly, to close out my comments, coming off of just 2 days ago on Monday, June 21st, we had our participatory governance retreat where the President's cabinet leadership team with academic senate leadership, classified senate leadership, and faculty leads, chairs and co-chairs from across our governance committees. We all came together. We reviewed our survey results from our committee members from throughout the year to hear the affirmations for the good work that we're doing, take into account the recommendations that our peers are offering to improve our governance structure. And I must say, and I don't mean this lightly, we had fun. We engaged in some good, thoughtful reflections. And I look forward to seeing how this is going right into our action planning to support institutional effectiveness, the college strategic plan, the district strategic plan, and really commit our focus to honoring governance, honoring input, and being relentlessly focused on student success, completion, and equity. So with that, that concludes my report this evening. Thank you.
Okay, I am up. Good evening, President Reese, trustees, Chancellor Jackson, colleagues, and guests. I would like to begin my report by thanking our wonderful faculty, staff, and administrators who served on our Guided Pathway lead team for their work mapping all of our academic programs to our new fields of study, which include number 1, arts, language, and communication, business, entrepreneurship, and transportation. Number 3, health, science, and technology. Number 4, culture and society, and number 5, general education and undecided. This is a key milestone in our guided pathway scale of adoption plan. During the upcoming academic year 21-22, we will be focused on implementing redesigned organizational structures, processes, and practices that support our new fields of study. Our chief aim is to have every student achieve their educational objective in the shortest amount of time possible and with a high degree of success in a student-centered environment that reflects our unwavering commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion, which will be accomplished through our Guided Pathways framework. While it is summer and many are taking well-deserved breaks from work, numerous priority institutional objectives are still being advanced, from teaching out our spring intercession courses to enhance our 2021 enrollment numbers, planning for the fall, as well as recruiting for critical faculty, staff, and administrative positions. We are redesigning our college website based on guided pathways, as well as effective student-focused communication and support. We're pursuing grant opportunities and preparing to commence the updating of our education master plan in the fall, which will include a strengths, weaknesses, and opportunity analysis of our critical stakeholders, students, faculty, staff, administrators, and community partners. In my July report, I'll provide the board with high-level data and information on our aviation maintenance tech program as requested in the last board meeting. Lastly, I would like to honor, appreciate, and celebrate outstanding members of the College of Alameda community who are retiring. Collectively, they have served the Peralta Community College District for more than 150 years. Our longest serving classified retiree is Miss Brenda Lewis, assistant to the dean, who began her distinguished career here in 1988 and achieving numerous accomplishments to her credit, both within the community college, Peralta Community College family, as well as in her community. Our longest serving faculty retiree is Mr. Gary Perkins, who began his service to the district in 1990. Mr. Perkin taught business and computer information courses. Our other wonderful retirees include Ing Coffer, radiology instructor, Linda Durant, former Thomas coach, Deborah Green, academic counselor, Cheryl Peel, library technician, Lawrence Silva, workability coordinator and instructor, Juanita Tyree, radiology instructor. We thank our retirees for their service to our district and our students, and we wish them the very best in all of their future endeavors. This ends my report, and thank you for your time.
Good evening, Chancellor Jackson, members of the board, and colleagues in education. It was certainly great to hear this evening the board action welcoming and giving me the opportunity to welcome Dr. Angel Fuentes, Alejandria Tomas, and Jennifer Ma, who will respectively be our Dean of Math and Science, Dean of CTE, and Director of Financial Aid. And we're also excited to be welcoming Dr. Rebecca Upsada as our Permanent Vice President of Instruction, who will begin on July 1st as well. As I welcome these individuals, however, I would be terribly remiss if I did not recognize and thank 3 outstanding educational leaders for their service over the past year. Laura Espino, Professor Laura Espino, served as our acting Dean of Humanities, Social Sciences, and Applied Technology, while Dr. Fields served as Vice President of Instruction. Professor Tariq El-Jarari served as the acting Dean of Math and Science and did a great job. And I would also like to extend special thanks and gratitude to Dr. Mark Fields, who served as the acting Vice President of Instruction over this past year. So just really want to tip my cap and recognize these great colleagues as we move forward. Speaking of great colleagues, we had, prior to the first week of the summer, we had a phone banking effort, and thanks to the coordination of our Public Information Officer, Lorena Baldazzo, Arlene Lontock in the President's Office, Dean Laura Espino, Dean Beth Maher, as well as Dean Diane Chang. In addition to their leadership and coordination, we had 20 volunteers come forward and within the span of 3 days call 1,115 students to do a wellness check and answer any questions that they had. But as I appreciate these colleagues, I also have to look across the district and convey appreciation to Merritt College. This was an effort that we engaged in, but we did really by exchanging some best practices, including our phone scripts and just some other advice. So to Dr. Johnson and to Jennifer Shanowski and to our colleagues at Merritt, thank you for that opportunity to share. And in closing my report this evening, I'd like to highlight 2 great external partners. As you know, I like to try to do this every single report. First of all, to the East Bay Municipal Utility District, East Bay MUD. 21 students earned their water management certificates and were recognized at the last East Bay MUD board meeting. And just to tell you a little bit about this partnership, it's so outstanding. Our business and construction management departments, particularly Professor Kim Glosson, Professor Kelly Lynch McMahon, Professor Fred Jackson, and Professor Carl Seelbeck, have taught within this program since 2017. And it was just so great at the East Bay MUD board meeting to see those graduates recognized and commended for the work that they had done. And it's something that represents an opportunity for career advancement for them, which is outstanding. In addition to that, Laney has a 15-year partnership with Alameda County. And particularly since 2018, we've had our management supervision certificate. This has afforded these graduates 18 transfer units. In addition to that, work experience credit, 6 months worth. Also, there has been just incredible opportunities. And within that, the common thread between the partnership with East Bay MUD and Alameda County has been Professor Kim Glosson in our business department. She's been so instrumental, not only with her teaching, but her leadership and coordination of these. And if you'd like to learn more about the partnership and specifically our grads through Alameda County, there is a link within your board report this evening that profiles these great graduates. So with that tonight, I'll conclude my report. Thank you.
Right. Thank you for the shout out, by the way, Rudy, appreciate it. So good evening, trustees, chancellor, and colleagues. I am pleased to share this report for Merritt College. So first, Merritt College is partnering with Oakland Unified School District right now, their Office of Equity and Inclusion, to offer the African American Achievement Pathway to College program. Now, this program, the aim of this initiative is to increase the number of young African American men and women who are prepared to enter careers or complete transfer college coursework. Now, this summer, the cohort that we brought in, they're going to participate in one of 5 what we're calling career exploration summer academies. So the academies or pathways they all have a very unique name. It's either I-Care, the I-Care pathway, which is healthcare, the I-Serve pathway, which is public safety, our administration of justice primarily, and legal studies, the IDEAL pathway, which is business and real estate, I-GROW pathway, which is food systems and landhort, and then finally I-Research, which is bioscience and biotechnology. In addition to that, on June 11th, so a little bit more than a week and a half ago, the inaugural class of 23 OUSD students took part in an outdoor virtual graduation. So we congratulate them and look forward to their continued success. Congratulations are also in order for a Mr. Samuel Appia, who is Merritt College class of 2022, for his recent acceptance as a 2021 National Institute of Health Bridges to Baccalaureate, B2B, Summer Fellow program at the University of California, Berkeley. So the B2B program is a research opportunity that gives enterprising, ambitious community college students the opportunity to train in rich academic research settings and actually conduct research at Berkeley Labs. And there are 8 different participating programs at Cal. The program that Samuel will be working in, I want to get this right, he's working at the Baccalaureate Lab at Berkeley's Department of Integrative Biology, and he's working with evolutionary biologist, Professor Kevin High, as his faculty mentor. So we wanted to say, go Samuel, keep up the good work, and we're very proud of you. Finally, I'm going to go off script a little bit from my Board of Trustees report and just thank everyone at Merritt College who was involved in supporting the Juneteenth event that we had on Saturday. It was a partnership between Merritt College and Kaiser Permanente to provide information in health education careers, vaccinations. We had a mobile van set up, and we had probably somewhere between 100 and 120 folks show up. Not all of those folks got vaccinations. Some of them just came for the barbecue, but we had a lot of people there, a lot of good food, music, DJ. The Oakland A's came, so I need to give a shout out to the Oakland A's who were involved and gave out free tickets and swag, and it was a really positive event. So thank you to our partners with Oakland Athletics, with Kaiser Permanente, and everyone in Merritt College who's involved in putting on that phenomenal event. Hopefully it's the first of many. So with that, I will conclude and turn it back over.
Thank you very much, Presidents. Appreciate your updates. I did want to take a few minutes to provide an update of my own, and I'd really like to start with Dr. Siri Brown, as was mentioned in the, I believe by the District Academic Senate President Donald Moore. We have had a statewide attack on fraudulent enrollment. And as part of technology security, working with a team, I'd like for Dr. Brown to give you an update, and then I will continue to speak on some health security and safety items that we've been doing here in the district. So Dr. Brown.
Thank you, Chancellor Jackson, and good evening, Board of Trustees and community and colleagues. I wanted to provide an update on the fraudulent applications that we're currently working on. And so currently there is a statewide abuse of the California Community College application system that's called CCC Apply, that's resulted in thousands of fraudulent applications across the state that's impacting many community college districts. The false applications are done in large batches and can bypass the CCC Apply system and are thus sent to districts as complete. The aim of these efforts is to fraudulently receive financial aid. So recently we discovered over 550 fraudulent applications for the month of May alone. And of those, a little over 125 had enrolled in 9 to 12 units during the summer term. The discovery of these fraudulent students resulted in an ongoing analysis and institution of preventative measures to mitigate the impact of these illegal efforts. Academic affairs, district financial aid, the internal auditor, and information technology have been communicating about the fraud to faculty, staff, and administration, installing a filter to identify and suspend suspicious applications, dropping those that have enrolled in summer and fall courses, pulling back and removing financial aid disbursements where possible, assessing new applications, and importantly, reporting this information to the state. So to date, we have, as of today, and this work happened from mid last week through today, we placed a banner on all of summer 2021 Canvas shells and sent an FAS email to faculty, asking them to be sure to complete their census on time and drop students who never attended, and especially those who did not display a phone number, because this is one of the indicators of this current batch of fraud. And we are grateful to the many faculty who did do that. It helped us cross-reference, and it gave us some insight into some of the activities of the fraudulent so-called students in their classes. And then District A&R ran a query, which was collectively analyzed for the common elements of these fraudulent applications. There are many parameters that lead us to suspect fraud. And there appears to be roughly 1,138 fraudulent summer fall applications from March 17th through today. We placed a filter on all incoming applications, and those from the query have been flagged, dropped from courses that they enrolled in, and a hold has been placed on their accounts that only the district can remove that hold at this time. And an automatic message then goes to the students requiring them for further action. And then District Financial Aid was able to reverse $4,800 of fraudulent summer aid that almost went out. And efforts are ongoing to remove any future disbursements through the summer and fall semester, and to analyze the total, if any, impact from the spring 2021 semester. And then lastly, I just want to note that CCC Apply 2.0, a newer, better version, will unfold this fall. And the state is promising that it is going to be more vigilant around catching fraudulent applications by implementing a two-step verification process and improving their firewall, so that hopefully we and other districts won't receive as many of these kinds of fraudulent applications. The state did send out a memo today about what's going on across the state, and they recommended that we do everything that we've already done, and reminded us about some technical pieces behind the scenes to constantly stay on top of as well. So that ends the report, and thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Brown. I'd like to continue to give an update regarding health and safety. I'd like to share an excerpt from Chancellor's announcement regarding Alameda County's rescinding of the shelter-in-place order. That was sent out last Thursday, June the 17th, and effectively Tuesday, June 15th, after nearly 15 months, the shelter-in-place order was implemented to help keep the community safe from the spread of COVID-19, and it has now been lifted. And that is good news for sure. But what does that mean for us here in the Peralta Community College District? From now through the end of our summer semester in July, we will continue with what we have been doing to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Campuses will remain officially closed with some exceptions for in-person classes, athletics, and individuals performing tasks deemed to be essential for the organization. As we've said throughout the pandemic, the health and safety of students and employees is our top priority, and that remains to be the case. While the number of COVID-19 infections in Alameda County have dropped, they have not disappeared. So we still need to be vigilant. As the district classified Senate President Terrence Fisher mentioned in his report, I updated them on the work the colleges along with the district are doing, working diligently on our return to campus plans. These plans in turn are discussed during a weekly District Emergency Operations Center meeting that includes executive leadership, our subject matter experts from risk management and health services, and leaders from each of the collective bargaining units. So all employees are represented appropriately. We are planning for a gradual and safe return to campus, and to date, we have not set specific timelines for full reopening of in-person courses and services. As our plans are solidified, they will be negotiated with each of the collective bargaining units and then communicated out to the community. Regarding security, I'd like to endorse the resolution on renewing support of the holistic safety and wellness of the district students. That's item 8.1. And hand in hand with this is the contract with Knowledge Saves Lives on tonight's agenda, item 7.3, which supports the district's community-based safety program. So that is my update of health, safety, including technology, physical safety, and our return to work. Thank you very much, and that concludes my presentation to the board.
Thank you, Chancellor. I believe that student trustee Micah Cooper has a question.
Hello. My question was in regards to Vice Chancellor Brown's report on fraudulent application. I was wondering if it's known at this time if there's been any impact to the students that they should be aware of. I figure there's obvious things such as lost enrollment availability, but will there perhaps be delays to financial aid, even if just a little bit, as we triple check that they're going to the right people? Or should students go back and look at classes that may have been full because now that fraudulent applications are out, maybe they're not full anymore? Any insights like that, I'd love to know about.
Dr. Brown, would you like to address the question by the student trustee?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Those are great questions, Trustee Cooper, and the same questions we've been keeping in mind. There will not be any delay of financial aid disbursement to students that are real students and that qualify for financial aid. Instead, what we've done is we've flagged those as suspicious and pulled them out. But in terms of classes for the summer, unfortunately, the fact that we caught the number of fraudulent applications about 5 days before the last day to add, which is also the census day, may have impacted some students who wanted to enroll in a class that appeared to be full but was not. We don't have a full analysis of that, but I did message faculty about 72 hours ahead of the census to ask faculty to submit their census early to create space in their classes. And we also sought the guidance of the state around this as well. I can say confidently, though, that this will not impact the fall enrollment because we've placed the filter on. And a report was sent through the admissions and records statewide listserv that colleges and districts who put on the filter, about 95 to 98% are effective in taking out the fraudulent applications. So I believe that fall we won't see the same level of problem. However, it's always an ongoing game. They switch parameters and they're trying to always do tricks to get around things, but we're just keeping a really sharp eye and utilizing the resources of the state and our surrounding districts to give us information on what they're seeing as well.
Thank you, Dr.
Awesome.
Brown.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor and Dr. Brown. Trustees, do I have any comments, questions for our presidents, for the Chancellor? I don't see anyone, but I do have Dr. Besikof putting his hand up.
Just for students, I know that with around the district, there are some classes, not a huge number, but a select number of classes whose start date was yesterday. So there may be classes available for students.
Great, thank you. And I just want to shout out to the presidents, to thank you to the presidents for the never-ending work that the colleges are going through, even through the summer, because it's all incredibly important, whether it's the fun retreat that Dr. Garcia was talking about, and I don't doubt that that was not fun, I'm sure it was, or the SWOT analysis that Dr. Jones was talking about, or the partnerships that are happening at Merritt, which I think are incredibly important and also very, very exciting. And also the great work that's happening with Dr. Besikof over at Laney College. So I just want to make sure that you all know, again, how much we appreciate your work and how much all of you do and how much all of your colleges and all the individuals within your colleges do. So thank you. All right, let's move on to 3.4.